Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our Swami Kriyananda birthday celebration. We're so glad that you can join us. It's a wonderful time for us to remember this great soul who has meant so much to so many of us, whose presence in our lives has radically changed the way we live and who we are. We'll begin by chanting one of his chants.
Lord, when in darkness, Lord, in confusion, always I'll follow thee. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. Lord, when in darkness, Lord, in confusion, always I'll follow thee. Lord, when in darkness, Lord, in confusion, always I'll follow thee. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. Lord, when in darkness, Lord, in confusion, always I'll follow thee. Lord, when in darkness, Lord, in confusion, always I'll follow thee. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. Lord, when in darkness, Lord, in confusion, always I'll follow thee. Lord, when in darkness, Lord, in confusion, always I'll follow thee. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. If I grieve or lose my way, only thou canst comfort me. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend. All I live for is to love thee, my eternal friend.
Let's pray together Heavenly Father,
Heavenly Father,
Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
Friend, beloved God,
Friend, beloved God,
Jesus Christ,
Jesus Christ,
Babaji Krishna,
Babaji Krishna,
Lahiri Mahashaya,
Lahiri Mahashaya,
Swami Sri Yukteswar,
Swami Sri Yukteswar,
beloved Master,
beloved Master,
Paramhansa Yogananda Ji,
Paramhansa Yogananda Ji,
friend and guide,
Friend and Guide,
Swami Kriyananda,
Swami Kriyananda,
and saints of all religions,
Saints of all religions,
humbly and lovingly we bow before Thee.
humbly and lovingly we bow before Thee.
Help us to feel Your presence this evening
Help us to feel Your presence this evening
as we celebrate the life of this great soul.
as we celebrate the life of this great soul.
Bring us into deeper understanding
Bring us into deeper understanding
to the message that He brought to us
the message that He brought to us
through His words,
through His words,
through His life,
through His life,
through His discipleship.
through His discipleship.
Om.
Om.
Peace.
Peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Swami Kriyananda was a man of many talents. All of the music that you'll be hearing tonight, including the chant that we just did, was written by him. All the recorded music and the live music as well. He wrote poetry, he wrote prose, of course he wrote many lyrics, which is a form of poetry. He shared with us his consciousness in many different ways. So tonight we'll be sharing with you these different media through which Swamiji left a record of his consciousness, that not only we, but that for generations to come, people can get to know him and be uplifted by his relationship with the divine.
Hello, friends. There is a saying in India that one moment in the presence of a saint can be your raft over the ocean of delusion. And I want to share with you one moment I had with Swami Kriyananda that changed my life. In 2006, Swami wrote this seminal spiritual classic, The Essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And at that time, I was serving at Crystal Clarity at Ananda village. And as part of the campaign for outreach, Swami was signing a number of special signed editions of this beautiful book. And so I was part of the team that got to bring the books over to Swami's home at the Crystal Hermitage. And we would put a book in front of him, he would sign it, and then my job was to take the book away from him. And so I was simply kneeling at his feet while he was at the desk signing copies of The Essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And after about 10-15 minutes or so, while we were doing this in silence together, he just turned down and he beamed the essence of the Bhagavad Gita through a silent look. It was one moment in the presence of a saint that I'll never forget. And I feel like he conveyed more meaning and the true essence of the Gita through that divine moment of sharing that we had together. Swamiji, I am forever grateful for your divine friendship and for the life in God that you have given me.
Hello friends, my name is Padma and I wanted to share with you my experience, the inspiring experiences with Swami Kriyananda. The first one that comes to my mind is probably the first talk that I heard from him. It was, I believe, an SRW occasion, the very first one that I was attending at Ananda village. And for the first time, he made me understand, as he was saying, that, when we meditate and when we feel that joy, that love in our heart, that is God. And that just opened up a new understanding for me. For me, God can be felt in the temple, in holy men, in nature, in everything, in many other things that remind us of the divine, but that the divine is actually present with me, that intimate, so intimately, so personally. That was the first time he opened up that entire possibility for me and changed everything, all my understanding. The other one was also way back, very early years of my spiritual path. This was like 16 years back. I was a mother of two little kids, 1 and 4 years old. I was visiting family in India, and Swamiji was in Gurgaon at that time. So I made it a point to go visit him. And he was giving a talk, a satsang that day. And, with the 1-year-old, she started to cry. So I couldn't even listen to his talk. And so when I got a chance, there was a very short one-on-one time with him. So I asked him, Swamiji, I wear so many hats. I am a mom of these two little kids. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter. I teach. I have a full-time job, really busy life. When do I find time for God? How do I find God? And he looked at me and he said, find Divine Mother in them. See Divine Mother in their eyes. And then he paused and said, but don't let them know that. He had such a fine sense of humor. And, of all the people in the room, something that always struck me was that Swamiji was somebody who is so simple, but at the same time, there was something so regal around him that as you came near him, your head kind of automatically, bowed down in reverence in his presence. And the other thing was that his vibration of love was so powerful. It drew people like a magnet. I know it drew me, and I would want to sit right next to him and not let him go. He felt like he's the dearest friend that you had. And then later when I thought about that, I felt this is God. This is how God feels. And so for me, he was the personification of the divine. The last one I'll share with you is this was also perhaps, I don't quite remember, but I think that was the last time I saw him in person. He was in LA. And that happened to be his discipleship day in September. And I remember that because that also happens to be my birthday. What a happy coincidence. Or maybe not a coincidence. So there we were. He gave a talk and then he said he will bless us, each one of us individually, as he often did. And we all went up to him. It was so tender, so loving. He would touch each one of us on the head. Some of us he would touch our face. And then as I watched him, it was a treat to simply watch him bless each one of us. As each person came up, he was completely tuned into them. Everything else around him just fell away. It was just Swamiji completely with full concentration, all his love focused on this soul in front of him, and he blessed him. It was such a powerful experience. And Swamiji is very much there. He continues to be with us. He continues to inspire us, just reading his books, listening to his music. Seeing his picture, watching him talk, never fails to inspire us. And we thank him deeply from the depth of our hearts for that.
What I'm most grateful about Swami is not only his dedication to Yogananda's teachings, but his love for the arts, especially music. And so for his birthday, I'm going to play his piece called Mist.
Swami shared these words with us about his childhood. Joy has always been my first love. I have longed to share it with others. My clearest early memories all relate to a special kind of happiness, one that seemed to have little to do with the things around me, that at best only reflected them. A lingering impression is one of wonder to be in this world at all. What was I doing here? Intuitively, I felt that there must be some higher reality, another world, perhaps radiant, beautiful, and harmonious, in relation to which this one represented mere exile. Beautiful sounds and colors thrilled me almost to ecstasy. Sometimes I would cover a table down to the floor with a colorful American Indian blanket and then crawl inside and fairly drink in the luminous colors. At other times, gazing into the prism formed by the broad edge of a mirror on my mother's dressing table, I would imagine myself living in that world of rainbow-colored lights. Often also at night, I would see myself absorbed in a radiant inner light, and my consciousness would seem to expand beyond the limits of my body.
I want only thee, Lord, thee, only thee. 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 I want only thee, Lord, thee, only thee.
like to share with you a story about Swami Kriyananda for his special birthday celebration. My name is Dharma Devi, and when Swamiji was living in Los Angeles back in 2010 and 2011, he created this course. It was a 6-week course called Akash, Ancient Keys to Attaining Success and Happiness. And he really felt like this was made especially for the people in Los Angeles. And it was something for us to go out with as teachers and ministers for Ananda, LA. And so he taught the course a couple of times in LA, and then he left. And he, guess what, expected us to carry on this work with Akash. And he said, he gave me this charge. He said, I'd like to get Akash out to the masses. And so I said, well, Swamiji, I have experience with online classes and home study courses and all of that. I can try to get it online. And he said, well, of course, let's get it online and let's get it out to the masses. And so I was trying to think, okay, how can I expand my reach beyond just online? And so I said, well, Swamiji, what if I call all the spiritually minded schools in LA? And he said, no, not just the spiritually minded schools. I want it out to the masses. And so I said, okay, well, let me just put one foot in front of the other and do the first thing I can do. And so what felt very expansive to me was to kick off this getting Akash out to the masses by giving a really big public lecture. And so an introduction to this 6-week course. And so Narayan and I rented this big hall in Hollywood. Mind you, I have always been petrified of public speaking. And actually, that's one of the lessons in Akash, is overcoming nervousness and fear, which helped me quite tremendously. So I was taking a lesson from the Akash lesson and trying to meet this fear of mine head on. And so renting this big hall, I think the seating was for 250, 300 people. And we got there about 2 hours early. We made posters months ahead of time, very beautiful, professional flyers, and we hired a street team. It was actually one lady and her friend, but we hired them to go all over LA and into the South Bay, up in the valley, and everywhere to put flyers out for this lecture, this free lecture that we were putting on, that I was putting on. And so this happened, and the day of the event came. All this preparation had gone into it, and we showed up. We set up the first. Narayan said, well, do you want to maybe we set up 100 or 50 seats to start with, just to see how many people come. I said, no, let's set up 200 seats. And if we need more, there's going to be tons of people. It's going to be standing room only. And he said, well, do you want to be down on the floor level, or do you want to be up on the big stage, this big stage that they had set up? I said, nope, we've got to do it right. We're going up on the stage. So we went up on the stage, we set up the microphone, we set up a beautiful altar, and there we were. We were rehearsing, we were going to sing some of Swami's music, so we were rehearsing his music, and so the lecture was to start at 7. So at 6:30, we were just kind of waiting, holding the space, meditating, expecting people to start filtering in a little early. Well, 7 o'clock came and nobody was there. So we said, well, there's a lot of traffic in Hollywood, and maybe there was a parade going on or a marathon or something, that there was a lot of traffic that evening. So we waited, we chanted a little bit, and and kept waiting. 7:15 comes. Still, nobody has shown up. 7:30, and we start to see someone coming around the corner. I said, somebody's coming, somebody's coming. And you won't believe the two people that arrived at the lecture, the only two people who arrived was the woman leading the street team and her friend who helped her do the flyering all over LA, because they wanted to see how many tons of people were going to come to this event that they flyered for. So, needless to say, on the physical plane, it was a little bit of a disaster. So I went home and I was just feeling awful inside. I said, God, Swami must be so disappointed. Here I'm trying to get this out to a broad public, and I can't even put on a lecture with anyone in attendance. And just as I was thinking and praying to Swami and to Master, I had that thought, Swami must be so disappointed. And suddenly, all of my feelings of guilt and doubt and self-doubt and doubt of Divine Mother's love and all of that was replaced by this beautiful, just almost a giddy feeling of joy. I can't really describe it, but all I know is that Swami was saying to me, absolutely not. I am never disappointed. It's the effort that we put out that is what matters. No energy is wasted, Yoganandaji said. And so I couldn't do anything except meditate on these wonderful waves of joy. And so the next morning I emailed Swami and I said, well, the lecture was a disaster, and I told him about this experience that I had afterward. And all he said was, very good. And I think he was just telling me, all these projects are for nothing except for us. That project that he gave me was for me to overcome that fear and to face it head on. So thank you, Swamiji. I love you, and I'm so grateful for everything you've given us in our lives.
My name is Paul, and I am so grateful to be able to share a bit about some experiences I had with Swami Kriyananda. And years ago, Brooke and Sean, the spiritual directors at the time of Ananda, Los Angeles, had asked me to lead a meditation group, and I was a bit petrified, but I said, okay, I was willing to do it. And not too long afterwards, Swamiji came into town for a book launch. And there was a satsang gathering, informal, that all were invited to. And I was always just in such awe of Swamiji. And I couldn't speak around him. I could barely open my mouth. And I would just take in and listen, to try to take in the bliss. But I did get the courage to come up to him and ask him, because I really wanted to know. And I said, sir, I've been asked to start a meditation group in LA, and do you have any advice that you might be able to give me? And he looked at me very, very kindly with that amazing smile that just melts the heart. And he just said, just be in love and devotion. You cannot take one step forward on the spiritual path without awakening the natural love of the heart. He is quoting Sri Yukteswar, of course. And I said, thank you, sir. I will definitely keep that in mind. And in fact, I've done my best to keep that in mind, keep it simple ever since then. Well, about 6-8 months later, Swamiji happened to be back in Los Angeles, and not too long after that, he decided, and we were extremely grateful, he stayed in LA for about 6 months. At this point, when he had been very soon since he had arrived, he asked Jyotish and Devi and the spiritual directors of LA, could I help out in any way? And they said, well, there's this little Wednesday night meditation group. We were averaging about 10 people a night. And he said, okay, I would love to help out. And I thought, gee, this is amazing. And so some text messages were sent out. And lo and behold, within about an hour and a half, through text messages and a couple emails, there was about 100 people pouring into our little meditation group. And there came in Swamiji with Jyotish and Devi. He did a beautiful talk. And oh my God, it was so thrilling to have him there. And then I was called up to meet him again. And he was so grateful. I cannot put into words the depth, the feeling of the heart that poured from him. That thank you so much for helping. And I was speechless. I said, I'm honored, sir. And to the best of my ability, that I try to remember those precious experiences with Swamiji, and to remember just what he said, to be in the heart. The heart takes us where love of the heart, where the mind and techniques alone never can, and to just do my best to be a channel, to remember Swamiji's spirit. Happy birthday, Swamiji. God bless you always. So grateful for you. Om. Om. Om.
This is a poem by Swamiji, Ayodhya in June. Listen, fair June is humming in the air, and Ram's Ayodhya sings of lasting peace. The growing grass nods heavy to the wind, patient till cutting time. The hay is stored, the fields spring up with adolescent plants, with laughing flowers, berries, and graceful corn. In the orchards, every hand is quickly busy to catch the ripest fruits before they fall. The sound of honest labor crowds the noon. Men's hearts are strong with that perfected strength which smiles at fences, lays aside old hates, nurtures true love, and finds such earnest pleasure in seeking truth, that every private mind seems drawn to virtue like a public saint. The women's words are soft with kindness. The children answer with humility. Even the men are like so many fawns, modest and still, sweet with complete respect. June in Ayodhya is so roused with joy, the earth can scarcely keep its boundaries, swelling with energy and inner strength, till not a mountain, not a valley sleeps, straining to burst and flood the world with laughter. Such harmony flows everywhere when men with grateful hearts offer their works to God. Then brotherhood needs no enforcing laws, no parliaments, no treaties sealed in fear. True peace is theirs to whom the Lord is near.
Cerca in tutto il mondo dove l'umanità, nei piccoli paesi e nelle gran città, tu capirai che siamo fratelli, tu capirai che siamo fratelli. Vai in ogni casa, guarda con amor, ascolta ogni affanno, le gioie di ogni cuore. Tu troverai soltanto fratelli, tu troverai soltanto fratelli. Diverse son le onde che vagano sul mar, ma sotto nel profondo c'è solo l'unità. Così in Dio siamo fratelli, così in Dio siamo fratelli. Diverse le parole e la mentalità, ma dentro ogni uomo c'è la divinità che dice siete tutti fratelli, che dice siete tutti fratelli. Fratelli siamo tutti figli del Signore, diversi nei vestiti ma simili nel cuore. In Dio siamo tutti fratelli, in Dio siamo tutti fratelli. Walk like a man, even though you walk alone. Why court approval once the road is known? Let come who will, but if they all turn home, the goal still awaits you. Go on alone. Follow your dream, though it lead to worlds unknown. Life's but a shadow, once our dreams have flown. What if men cry, your dream is not our own? Your soul knows the answer. Go on alone. Give life your heart, bless everything that's grown. Fear not the loving, all this world's your own. Make rich the soil, but once the seed is sown, seek freedom, don't linger, go on alone. Walk like a man, even though you walk alone. Why court approval once the road is known? Let come who will, but if they all turn home, the goal still awaits you. Go on alone, go on alone, go on alone. Sei in un angolo del mondo, c'è la purezza, umiltà, vero amore, onestà. Fermati lì, null'altro ha valore. Is there anywhere on earth perfect freedom, sorrow's death, selfless friendship, blameless birth, cherish these, naught else has worth. Sei in un angolo del mondo, c'è la purezza, umiltà, vero amore, onestà, fermati lì, null'altro avallo. Is there anywhere on earth perfect freedom, sorrow's death, selfless friendship, blameless birth, cherish these, naught else has worth. Sei in un angolo del mondo, c'è la purezza, umiltà, vero amore, onestà, fermati lì, null'altro avallo. Dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea, fly like a gull, soar high on the air, be strong in your courage when others despair. Never in anger, never in haste, go without pride, be never abased. Freedom is yours if freedom you give. To all give it freely, in freedom you live. Mountains that stand up tall to the sky tell us no dreaming is ever too high. Dare to defy them, brave that high peak. You'll never know failure if victory you seek. Dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea, fly like a gull, soar high on the air, be strong in your courage when others despair.
As you fill my heart with music. Fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music. I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free. I sing your song and sorrow's gone. In joy I live ever free.
I'd like to read to you some excerpts from a talk that Swami Kriyananda gave in Assisi, Italy, in October 1999. Here he answers this question. You've said that it's important to attune to the living lineage of Master. How can we best do this after your passing? And here's Swami's answer. I want you to understand my role in this because it's very important. I am not the new guru. I'm sure that many saints will become realized in this line of gurus. Otherwise, it's not a true line. And maybe on my death, I will be. Master said I would be. I'm all for it. But he also said that he was the last one in our line of gurus. Master came to bring a world mission. So it's not the kind of thing that you usually find when masters are born in this world. It's more like Buddha, where even today, 2,500 years after he lived, people still pray to Buddha. But if there had been no disciples of Buddha, there would be no Buddhists now. We need to be living examples. We can't expect that Christ or Buddha is going to do it all. This was my big delusion in my early years of teaching. I thought that my whole job was to bring people to Master and turn them over to him. But I found that it didn't work that way, because those whom I turned over to him and did no more for began to slip. They needed continuous energy. I've seen disciples who were off on their own, thinking they could just get it on their own. And I haven't seen the same light in their eyes that I've seen in all of you. There is the need for personal contact. There is the need for living contact. And when I'm gone, well, I'm really quite trivial. But I'm hoping to sow those seeds in you, so that people will feel inspiration from all of you. All of you can be channels for the gurus. And the people who come to know you and take that inspiration will then share it with others. Now, I'm sure that there will be great gurus in the world in the future. Does this mean then that Master was wrong when he said that he would be the last in this line of gurus? No. If he is the last person in this path, who will ever have enlightenment then? Then what's his work? No. He came to make saints, and he has made saints. But he will be the ray of God, just as Buddha was the ray of God, of divine grace, coming into that particular form. Master said that in order to become free, you have to free at least 6 others. Well, how are you going to become free if you can't free anybody else because he's going to do it all, you see? When Sister Gyanamata died, Master said that he watched her enter the watchful state, the spirit beyond creation. She was completely liberated, in other words. And I had the thought, but how could she do that if she didn't have disciples? He caught my thought and said, she had disciples. Who? Where? This I don't know. But it's the truth, that you have to be a channel if you want to find God. You can't hug the whole cheese to yourself. You've got to share it with others. So I don't want you to look just to me. I want you to use me as an inspiration, a channel, a focus, if you will, to help you know better who he is, so that he, Master, becomes more real in your life. This, I feel, is my duty. And I feel that it's also your duty. You won't have known him. You will have known me. And from what you've gained from me, of him through me, you'll be able to pass on to others. And you'll be amazed to see how very real it is. It's not a diluted stream. It remains strong when there's that attunement, so that generations down the road will be just as strong. Kriyananda will be a memory. You'll read about him in books, if there are authors to write them. But you'll have people that know, that you know, who make you feel that, yes, this is alive. If this is what our gurus were like, then this is what I want to be like too. So in your attunement with anyone down the road, let it always be directed back to this last line of gurus, Paramhansa Yogananda, and the gurus before him. That's why Master said that he was the last, because this is where the full power of the divine is. It doesn't mean that there won't be others who are fully realized, but they won't have that particular world mission from God to bring this ray of divine power into the world. That's the mission that he serves. And that is the mission that Swamiji has continued to serve.
My name is Jennifer, and when I just heard someone ask the question, how has Swami Kriyananda most impacted my life, I had an immediate thought. I once heard a recording of somebody asking Swami the question, why is Ananda called an intentional community? And his answer was so beautiful. He said that our intention as devotees on this path is to remain in God consciousness in as many moments as we possibly can. And that's such a beautiful concept, and it reminds me what our responsibility is as devotees and as humans, to be as loving as we possibly can in every moment. And so I offer that up to you. And I also offer up the idea that if you choose to go to Google Swami Kriyananda, Love is a Magician, and listen to what I think is one of his most beautiful compositions, and allow yourself to be immersed in the magnetism of Swami's beautiful love and in the love of divine consciousness.
Love is all I know, sun rays on the snow of a winter long, in darkness without song. Oh, my heart's a fire, burning all desire. Only you remain, and life again. Love is all I know, sun rays on the snow of a winter long, in darkness without song. Oh, my heart's a fire, burning all desire. Only you remain, and life again. Too long I did stray, flung lifetimes away, imagined you did not care. I know now your smile was mine all the while. I listened and love was there. I can't breathe for love. All the stars above call to me, come home. Life's waves all end in foam. Only love can heal all the pain I feel. What a fool was I to turn away.
I'd like to begin by reading from my new book, which probably most of you have seen already. The commentary is The Essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Among thousands of men, scarcely one strives for spiritual perfection. And among those blessed ones who seek me, scarcely one out of many thousands perceives me as I am.
Father, now that I wander with thee, flowers and fields seem alive with thy joy.
I couldn't set aside his words to me. Your life is one of intense activity and meditation. His statement, your work is lecturing and writing, and his frequent charge to me, you have a great work to do. Moreover, I had dedicated this incarnation to spreading his work. I live for nothing else.
Well, what is life really like after death? And I started to write a novel about this, and I was very interested in what it's all about. And I remember at the age of 15, I decided that the answer, that what the world needs is examples of communities, of small groups of people who try to live an idealistic life and in their idealism set an example for others.
Father, now that I dance in thy name.
He came into this world not to show us what a great man he was. He came to show us how great we are. He came to remind us of the God within.
To set hearts aflame. Father, now that I wander with thee, flowers and fields seem alive with thy joy. All that I owned to thee I've given. Now I sing in thy love I am free. Father, now that I dance in thy name, birds and animals share in my song. All my sorrows, all my merriment, join in music to set hearts aflame. Ora, Padre, che vivo in te, fiori e alberi cantan d'amor, niente è mio, è tutto tuo, vivo in te nella libertà. Ora, Padre, che danzo in te, festeggia tutta la terra con me. Tutti i fratelli miei s'uniscono per lodarti, o nostro Signore. Tutti i fratelli.
My thought in the background of my mind was, boy, this will be a good story to tell.
Hi, my name is Tyagi Ram, and I just want to say a few words about the impact of knowing one of the great masters of our time, who was trained by Paramhansa Yogananda himself to present his teachings to the world, Swami Kriyananda. Swamiji was the greatest soul that I came to respect and know and honor. And 7 years after his passing in 2013, I still feel his presence today, especially through the music and the various times that I was a part of the singing group, playing sometimes with Swamiji on stage. But I came to Ananda in 1977 and met Swami 4 months after arriving at the village. And it was his music that just captivated me. And then when he returned from India after completing his seclusion, after writing the book, The Path, his autobiography, he asked me, he said, "Bob, I'd like for you to be a part of the singing group, the Gandharvas." We were called the Gandharvas in those days, the celestial singers. Later we became the joy singers. But in those days we were the Gandharvas, and I loved the Gandharva music. I listened to it and sang it all the time in my little pup tent where I was staying at the Prentice Village in those days. And when he said, "I'd like for you to come with me on a nationwide tour where I'm presenting my autobiography, The Path, of the autobiography of a Western yogi, and I want you to sing with the choir." This literally solidified my heart's devotion on the path of self-realization. It was the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me in my life, to travel and to be closely involved with the Ananda members who were on that tour in 1978, starting in January all the way through May. And to be there with Swamiji, to feel that power, that vibration of pure devotion and love. And this is something that is the greatest impact on my life, was that kindness, that love. And I'd like to share with you this song, Peace, which is a song that we would always sing at the very end of our programs, dedicating it to world peace and brotherhood, which is the birthright for all of us on the path of self-realization. Peace gave us the mountains, peace gave us the sky. Nightly when starlight enfolds us, peace is its lullaby. Amen. Amen. Peace gave us the morning, peace gave us the sun, bird songs that call us to welcome day and fresh labors begun. Amen. Amen. Peace gave us the seasons, peace gave us the rain, cool clouds that gather to bless us, mist hands that soothe away pain. Amen. Amen. Peace gave us our heart's love, peace gave us our smiles, rays of God's presence within us, light that all strife reconciles. Amen. God bless you all, and may the music of Swami Kriyananda, the songs of divine joy and bliss, awaken your heart to divine love. Om.
Let's meditate together now for just a few minutes. Feel your heart opening to receive that divine love that Swamiji exemplified so well. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for joining us, dear friends. We're so glad we could share these words and music and inspiration of Swami Kriyananda. You know, Swamiji said, if you want to get to know me, listen to my music. In this digital age, it's so easy to have music surrounding us all the time. May God bless you richly. We loved being with you tonight. Good night.